Okay, is that working? That should be working. Yep. Okay. Okay, let's go. Everything else set up here. Okay. Now that I got this stuff set up. Okay. Let me set up something else for here real quick. Okay, there we go. Okay. Make sure this is working on YouTube now, actually. Sometimes it's a piece of crap and bugs out. Okay, and the Meso Mafia little icon in the corner is working now, too. Okay, first things first, the little icon you should be, hopefully be seeing on the bottom right is my new weather group I have been in for a while now, and I've been trying to work on a video to get that uploaded and the overall changes and stuff. But let's go into a quick breakdown of what's going on in terms of weather. Tornado warnings are right now stretching from southwest Iowa all the way down into northeast Kansas along a cold front, which you can pretty much clearly see here. And for now on, I am going to be using these little wind direction icons, so it's easier to tell what storms are undercut and which ones are not. The cold front currently kind of runs a little bit funky to do. Kind of runs pretty much right along uh, these storms. And it does appear that these storms might have been undercut by the cold front, but it's still a little wonky to tell, so I'll be watching these in case they stay ahead of the cold front. We've had multiple tornadoes across Kansas today, including a tornado emergency in far southern Nebraska, which is the highest tornado warning anyone can really get. Let's go ahead and start this here now. Let's go to SRV. It is embedded rotation right now. This is going to be south of Highway 36, east of Marysville, Kansas. This is Kansas where I need to change the borders. Okay. No, I'll change the borders later. And down into Oklahoma, let's go to reflectivity. The cap has recently broken, and there was a lot more storms earlier, but now from about I-40 down towards Altus, Oklahoma, storms are still attempting to go up and break through the cap. There is the severe thunderstorm warning here now for a couple of cells. I hear these are elevated, producing only maybe some damaging winds and hail at the moment. However, if they can take advantage of their extremely unstable environment and turn into full-fledged supercells, wouldn't surprise me if we can get a couple tornadoes and a very large hail out of these. Watching them very closely. However, our priority will be up here in Kansas, Nebraska today. Luckily, these storms have been interacting with each other a lot. As you can see, it's either a line like it is down here, or somewhat of a broken line, which means these storms are interacting a lot. That real tornado threat is kind of uh, decreased a little bit up here, which is good. However, a few big, strong tornadoes are still possible, and there are some damaging wind gusts already reported up here. 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. Let's go ahead and go and switch up here. Yeah, 80 mile per hour winds. Right now, these are kind of on the leaning edge of what to me appears to be more of a cluster of storms. Let's go ahead and go into SRV, storm relative velocity. So it doesn't look as tight. Not seeing anything that screams 100% tornadic yet. If we do see a tornado, it must be out here. If you live in Maryville or Missouri, or let's see here, Bedford, Iowa. This is going to be the Missouri-Iowa border, pretty much right here. And I do need to thicken those borders a little bit so it's easier for everybody to see. Uh, and there is those two tornado warnings over there, and it does appear there's another one for this supercell, kind of in the middle of everything. Let's see. Go down to SRV again. There's the area spin right here. This can be southeast Nebraska. This is going to the east. This is going east northeast direction. It's kind of going. There might be a new tornado warning for either Auburn or Rockport, southeast Nebraska, western Iowa. Ooh, that's too far. Iowa. By the way, these storms back here, going towards Omaha, Nebraska, these are behind the cold front. There is no tornado threat with these. I'm going to go into reflectivity. There's no tornado threat with these up here, west and southwest of Omaha. This is behind the cold front, which should be about here. So again, these are kind of behind the cold front. They are out of the way. These are going to be elevated hailers and wind producers. Anything out ahead of the cold front, such as these storms down here, will remain tornadic. These storms right here, these storms are a little weird because you can clearly see the northern winds start about here. So this is going to be the cold front, just north of Hutchinson. There is a northern wind here in Pratt, Kansas. Yeah, 66 degrees, 59 degree dew point. So these are going to be, this is most likely either undercut or will about to be undercut, because this cold front is going to be right behind this group of storms. There's definitely pockets of damaging winds in here. We're going to have to really watch kind of these little nudges as these storms continue off to the east. Let's go back to Oklahoma here for a brief moment. Didn't mean to do that. And the dry line is going to be situated about here for sure. Actually, you could probably see it retreating. Might be that right there, actually. It's very difficult to tell, but the dry line is providing just enough lift to get these storms going. There are several tornado watches ranging from Oklahoma all the way up to Iowa, Nebraska, and northern Missouri. Let's go and switch back up here to the north. Again, there is an observed tornado tag, but I think that might be a little old, but let's go ahead and stick with this here. And nothing's looking incredibly tornadic, like really tight, and potential like tornado on the ground. Nothing screaming like it's on the ground as of now. And there's a little blip here west of St. Joseph that could turn into a supercell. And let's watch this. If this does turn into something big, that's going to have to be watched, as it is ahead of this developing line here. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and swap to this here. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and go back down to the southwest, north of Manhattan, Kansas. We're gonna call, just for now, we're gonna call these the Kansas storms right here. This is gonna be about just east of Dodge City, all the way up to west of St. Joseph in northeast Kansas. And again, these storms back here are not going to be a tornadic threat. These are behind the cold front, so if these can go up in a favorable environment, which again they are in a very good environment, these are likely just going to be hailers and wind producers. And then obviously these storms down here will be the Oklahoma storms if they can continue to develop and mature. And then these will be the, let me switch radar sites here real quick. These are going to be the Iowa, Nebraska storms. And here, these can be from southeast Nebraska, northwest Missouri, and southwestern Iowa. And And let's go ahead and go back into velocity here. Let's go to SRV, it might be better. It's a little tricky to tell, but definitely seeing a couple little areas of spin on this front edge. Let's go to debris, see if we can. Ooh, it's cutting it close. I'm not seeing any debris being wafted. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning just issued there. Tornado possible tag is with it. And there is a southeast wind here, 74-degree dew point. So these storms are getting fed all of that moisture, getting that southeasterly winds feeding into them. I'm not seeing too much strong rotation here. That little cell in between everything. Back here in the southeastern Nebraska, definitely some rotation here. This is going to be, let's see. This is going to be about 17 miles southwest of Auburn, Nebraska. I need to turn that off. And let's go and see, this does appear to be trying to get a little bit stronger. Let's go into debris again. Not seeing anything lofted as of now. You can very clearly see the hook in there. Maybe some hail up here just south of Tecumseh. Hook, I mean, it's there, but it's not very tight. It is getting some kind of interactions with the storm to its south. This could be northeast Kansas. And that cold front's going to be buckling up right up against these storms. They are moving northeast, so if that cold front continues to move to the south-southeast, these storms will eventually get undercut and lose their tornadic abilities. They won't be able to spin on the surface anymore. Let's go ahead and check storm chaser footage on some of these storms here. Let's see if there's any storm chasers on any of these storms here real quick. And Topeka, Kansas is down here. At the moment, these storms are... Let's go to this radar. At the moment, these storms are going kind of northeasterly. Topeka, you're probably going to get kind of cooked by some of these storms down here. But right now, these are all kind of shifting to the northeast. Right now, let's go and hop on this stormer here. Just really close to Westmoreland, Kansas. Yeah, I'm not seeing as much, like, really strong shear in there anymore. This tornado warning, yeah, it's 21 minutes left there. Let's go ahead and fly up to the north with this, tornado warning. Yeah, you gotta really watch anything kind of on this outflow. What was that? Where is my... Is really got to watch anything in these storms because, again, a very favorable environment. Maybe a developing hook down here on the south end. This storm of this particular storm. Yeah, we're gonna be watching everything here in northeastern Kansas because it is a very, very active day already. Let's go ahead and pop up the day one outlook here. Here we turn. Here, I'm going to switch radar site so it's easier to see. Right now, again, all these storms are in a very favorable environment, moderate risk, ranging from far southwestern Iowa down to southern Kansas, just north of the Oklahoma border. Looks like a warning just got dropped there. This is where the highest chance for strong to intense tornadoes are, along with damaging winds and hail. A more conditional slight risk does extend down into southwestern Oklahoma. Now, this is a much unlikely scenario, however, an isolated strong tornado cannot be ruled out down there. Because conditions, again, are favorable from Iowa all the way down to Oklahoma. Now, this entire area won't see, not everybody will see storms, but anything out ahead of that cold front can remain tornadic, produce very large hail, and damaging wind gusts. Now, luckily, kind of right now, it is kind of a more of a broken line of storms here in Kansas, especially down here northwest of Wichita. These are a more of a cluster or a line. So the tornado threat's not going to be as high with this, and it is kind of developing on the back end a little bit. And these are all going to continue off to the east northeast and continue to produce all sorts of severe hazards. This is definitely more of a line and is less likely to produce a strong tornado. However, up here it's a little bit of a different story. A couple semi-isolated, or what we say, semi-discrete cells are still existing. They're trying to stay by themselves. However, they are quickly starting to either conjoin in the line of storms or weaken and collapse as a whole. Looks like a little nudge starting to poke out here and here. This is going to be near Bedford, Iowa, and Maryville, Missouri. Let's go ahead and go into velocity. Definitely going to have to watch anything down here near Maryville as well. Let's go and check this here. Might be... I'm going to check this with real quick. Is that... Okay, yeah, that's not a new tornado warning. There is... I'm gonna just realized my volume isn't up, so I can't hear if any new warnings get activated. Anyways, definitely got some, rotation here near Hopkins. Here does appear to be strengthening a little bit. Let's go to reflectivity, and there is a bit of a bulge here, and there is southeasterly winds feeding into these storms. Again, it is very, very moist, very unstable, and there's a lot of shear in the atmosphere, and these are all feeding into these storms. And right now we are looking at northern Missouri and southern Iowa with these two tornadic storms kind of converge into a line. This is right on the state border, so we can't see as well. But there's definitely something going on just northeast of Hopkins, saying that Hopkins, Missouri, just barely south of the Iowa Missouri border on the Missouri side. Yeah, this is turning into a fat mess here in southeastern Nebraska. There's probably not gonna be anything from that for now. Let's go ahead and go to SRV. Switch radar sites. I'm not seeing anything like screaming tornado yet, but it does look like it looks like almost two supercells in here. What is going on here? Is that two? That is. I'm pretty sure that is two supercells. That is interesting. I don't see that a whole lot. You don't see that often. That is interesting. Down here in the southern Kansas, again, these you can clearly see these are kind of like converged supercells. There are several different cores in here producing hail, heavy rain, and yes, damaging winds as well. Let's go down to Oklahoma here for a brief moment. He's strengthening. Yeah, looks like more towers are trying to go up near Childress, Texas. And again, the dry line is going to be kind of... That's a little too far. Kind of back here. It is retreating backwards at the moment, which... I don't think that's the dry line. However, definitely a few developing supercells. They're trying to go up the cap. It is trying to hold. However, there is, again, tornado watch is in effect out here in western Oklahoma. And models have suggested that there will be more development off this. Oh my goodness, I cannot circle things today. There are models have been depicting that storms will continue to develop and even shift a bit more easterly towards Oklahoma City. Now, this is still a little unlikely, at least in my opinion. However, if it does happen, all modes will be possible, including a tornado or two, up golf ball plus size hail, and definitely 60, 70, maybe as high as 80 mile per hour wind gust if anything can stay sustained for that long. let's go ahead and go up here. Ooh. Okay, whatever rotation was. Is this the right radar site? I just dumb. Now, right now, watching kind of these storms in northwestern Missouri and southwestern Iowa. Southwestern Iowa. These are continuing to move east northeast. Bedford, Blockton, get to your safe spot now, and if you're under a tornado warning, get to the lowest level, centermost point of the house. Um, Sorry, there was just a loud gust of wind outside. Anyways, uh, lowest level, centermost point of the house. Do not stay above. Try if you can stay underground. Get underground if you can. If you can't, lowest level, centermost point of the house. That's an interior bathroom, interior closet. Put as much. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Uh, yep. There's a new tornado warning now because it was a bit more easterly. Now it's more northeasterly. Again, Auburn, Nebraska. Like I said, a new tornado warning was issued. Said it quite a while ago. Area spin was shifting a bit more northeasterly. What is wrong with these radar sites? Here is the area spin. It is very corrupt. I'm gonna see if I can change this a little bit. There it is. There's the area spin. It is going northeast. So if you live in Auburn, Nebraska, or if you know anybody kind of in the area, this is gonna be southeast Nebraska. Tell them lowest level, centermost one in the house, interior bathroom, interior closet. And there's not a whole lot of hail in this. This is technically not severe. However, it does have a tornado warning with it now. It doesn't have a whole lot of hail with it. You're not gonna hear a lot of pounding unless the tornado's on the ground, sending debris up and everywhere. Let's go ahead and switch storms. Get down here to the storm a little further to the south. Again, not seeing a whole lot. This tornado warning might be allowed to drop if that storm doesn't get its act together. Let's go down the line. It's gonna be from about Manhattan down to just southeast of Abilene, Kansas. Let's go ahead and actually check for damaging winds. There could very much be a yeah, definitely 1, 2 pockets just southwest of Manhattan. Potentially another kind of bigger pocket from about Junction City to east Abilene, Kansas. 60, 65, maybe a gust of up to 70 miles per hour. Certainly possible with those storms. Let's go down here a little further to the southwest to these southern Kansas storms. It's going to be ranging from about Greensburg up to Winsburg, Kansas. Again, let's go and check velocity here. Definitely might be a couple little areas of spin on this front line on the leading edge here. Actually, definitely something poking out here. Can we see that on reflective? Yes, we can. It looks like an outflow boundary. Let's go and step here. Very weird. This is kind of weird to look at. It's definitely something ranging from it. To me, it looks a little bit more like a gust front poking out from these storms. And if these storms can't catch up to whatever that is, could actually be the cold front too. But right now, either way, anything that stays behind this boundary will stay non-tornadic. So that's the good thing. Let's go down to Oklahoma and do a quick check on some of these storms. Strong thunderstorms still ongoing from about Elk City over to Arapahoe, Oklahoma, and there are a few cells attempting to take off near Altus. Now these are struggling. It's because that cap is or lid is still in place. So these storms again are struggling quite a decent bit. Let's go and continue with this now. Let's see if this thing's going to work. Okay, there we go. Again, several storm. Some of these storms are attempting to take off, and there are what appears to me to be a couple more towers attempting to go up through whatever's left of the cap in that area. Let's go back up here into Kansas. Looks like these supercells might be trying to merge into one. Definitely seeing a bit more of just like one core though. So if these can successfully and fully merge, these are going to be a problem as they continue northeast into Nebraska. And these are starting to train over each other quite a bit as well, which does mean the flooding risk is going to increase. Looks like the potential for still got a little bit of still have some spin in here. In these storms, definitely starting to buckle in a little bit there. That's not good. And these are technically two separate storms. There are two separate cores with this. One in Iowa, one in Missouri. We're gonna call this one the Missouri storm, and this one the Iowa storm. Both still have some enough rotation with it to have tornado warnings. Both will expire in, well, this one in the north will expire about 20 minutes or so. Good, so there might be a little bit of spin in there for sure. Let's go over to the storm in Nebraska now. The Nebraska tornadic cell. Yeah, definitely still seeing some rotation in there. Not as strong as or pronounced as it looked earlier. Again, these storms are undergoing a lot of interactions. And right now, it could seriously be. Well, it wasn't really a dud today. There were definitely a decent bit of tornadoes. However, these storms are starting to merge and more into a line of storms, a decent bit of them, and that's going to seriously limit the chances for like a long track violent tornado. Could you still get a strong tornado? Absolutely, especially with the environment given. But right now, the only tornadic storms are in southwestern Iowa, northwestern Missouri, southeastern Nebraska. This one's probably going to be dropped, and northern Kansas. And they are, again, kind of merging. They are starting to interact with each other, and that should help kill them off. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything undercutting the storm. I'm saying there might be a little something trying to poke out there. It's about from Junction City down to the southwest. It looks like definitely a cold. Looks a little bit maybe very interesting. A little goofy to tell. There's definitely some sort of outflow or cold front undercutting these storms. It might be the cold front, but this is all ranging down, and these are undercutting these storms. So the tornado threat with these storms from about Greensburg, just north of Manhattan, Kansas. These storms their tornado chances are very rapidly declining. An outflow boundary, either a cold front or just outflow from these storms, have undercut these storms, which means they're going to stay more elevated and their tornado threat will dramatically drop pretty much to zero. However, if these storms can stay out ahead of said like cold front, they will remain tornadic, and it does appear that there's cold fronts can be ranging back up in here. It's a very like north-south cold front, which the further north you go. But again, for anybody in Omaha wondering, these storms back here from about Fremont, Nebraska, down to just pretty much east and west of Beatrice, Kansas. These are, or sorry, that's still Nebraska. These are all going to be non-tornadic. Okay, cold front is ahead of them. There's no tornado threat saying, or this one, and this storm right here, it's kind of, this one I think is still ahead of the cold front. But either way, it's kind of behind the rest of these storms, so it's going to struggle given these monsters out ahead of it. Yeah, definitely not seeing as good a spin or anything in these storms right now, which is good. However, these are still in a very favorable environment. Let's go ahead and this big severe thunderstorm warning. Even with that outflow undercutting these storms, this big group here, this is going to continue off to the east. Eventually, it will reach Wichita, El Dorado, Imperial, Kansas. No tornado threat with these as of now. That cold front outflow, whatever boundary it is, has completely undercut these storms, which means they have lost their tornado threat. It is still going to be an absolute wind threat. 60, 70, maybe up to 80 miles per hour. That's enough to maybe knock over a baby tree, smash a window with a rock. You know, keep an eye on these storms for sure for any damaging winds. And there are a couple little cores in here producing quarters to maybe $50 plus size hail every now and then. Same thing up here with these storms. Something has definitely undercut at least the southwestern edge. You can kind of see where that boundary lies here. Again, that tornado threat has been decreased with these storms from about Westmoreland down to just east of Abilene, Kansas. These storms have lost their ability to produce tornadoes, and eventually these storms will reach Council Grove, Alma, Topeka, Kansas. And once it does, again, 60, 70, maybe up to 80 mile per hour winds, golf ball $50 to up to golf ball size hail, with any of the stronger embedded supercells in there. Let's go ahead and go back up here to the Nebraska storm. And you can clearly see these are starting to merge into another line. And once these do, that tornado threat is going to seriously decrease. Let's go up here to these storms. Again, these are merged. They are interacting a ton, and it's going to help decrease the tornado threat a little bit. However, if you are in Blockton or as far east as Mount Ayr, Iowa, if this thing can recycle or get more shear in here and becomes tornadic again, prepare to get into your safe spot in case this thing tries to ramp up again. And further south into the Missouri storm, Ravenwood, Grant City, maybe Albany if it takes a sudden southeastern lunge, which I'm doubtful. Think about your safe spot. You know where to go during a tornado warning. At the moment, these tornado warnings should be allowed to drop. This one's at 1 minute. This warning is pretty much essentially canceled, but this one up here is still technically ongoing. And as this continues up to the east, it again still is in a favorable enough environment. Let's go down into Oklahoma. Those two cells are no longer severe north of I-40. However, south of I-40, again, another little tower has gone up and has become a bit more of a thunderstorm, and again, more towers behind it as well. Trying to develop. The cap in this area is pretty much gone. These storms are going to go up, produce a little bit like quarters up to golf ball size hail. Then they'll go down, and the reason why is because the cap is broken down here, like south of I-40, but once you cross over I-40 in northwestern Oklahoma, the cap is stronger. It's not as favorable for storms. And new tornado warning has just been issued. This could be for Ravenwood and Grant City, Missouri. If you live along or west of Highway 169, lowest level, centermost point of the house. Get there now. You don't want to stay out in the open. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And how corrupted this radar is, it's not that great to see that, unfortunately. Again, this is for northern Missouri, and this will eventually head into Iowa. And see this. So a little bit of a hook here, that southern edge. And as this continues off to the east-northeast, it will again, favorable environment. It could produce a tornado if it wraps up and ramps up here. And again, this is going off to the east, northeast. Is my computer even okay? Let's go down to the south real quick. And pretty. This is a really big severe thunderstorm warning here. You can again clearly see that boundary here. Oh, we got velocity. Boom, there's said boundary. Let's go ahead and move back to the north. These tornadic storms. This will be allowed to expire, and there's a new tornado warning for southern Iowa all of a sudden now. Again, Blockton, Mount Ayr, any other little community town in this tornado warning. Uh, Lowest level, center much point of the house. It's gonna be an interior bathroom and interior closet. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you have a basement, tornado shelter, perfect. Get in there. If you don't, and if you live in a mobile home, evacuate it. You don't want to stay in those things. Those are death traps. Even the 80 to 100 mile per hour winds, especially 80 to 100 mile per hour straight line winds. Those not great to stay in. And definitely. Yeah, it's definitely got a bit more of a inflow notch in here. Your tornado is gonna be more than likely probably gonna be rain wrapped, and yet there it is. It is a it's not on. Doesn't appear to be on the ground yet. However, looking for debris, and that's be useless. However, if it is on the ground, you're not going to be able to see it. It's most likely going to be rain wrapped. Do not try to go out and see it. The lowest level, send the most one in the house. Get the shelter. Go now. It is it's ramping back up. It is re-strengthening. Hmm. Yeah, that's here. It's gonna be up in here. It's got strong outflow, strong inflow. This could very well be a developing tornado in progress. This is going to be roughly 5, 6, if not 7 miles southeast of Bedford. The area of circulation. Oop, there it goes. Your area of circulation is pretty much going to be right over Quill Avenue. If you live between 290th Street and, I guess, the Iowa-Missouri border, get the shelter now. The circulation is going to be coming up right on over you, pretty much. Going to velocity, and yeah, it's definitely still there. And again, if you see it on the ground, get to shelter immediately. If you're in a car and you're in a little town, city, whatever, get into a sturdy building. Avoid windows and doors. I'm gonna go and see if I can see if there's any storm chasers in the area. Fortunately, there are no storm chasers in the area. Pretty much everyone is down in Kansas right now. Right now, Kansas storms they are a little bit more disorganized. Luckily, let's go back to storm relative velocity. Here's the area circulation. This could be a developing tornado in progress, right over Quill Avenue in Iowa, just north of the Missouri Iowa border, and this is traveling northeast, and there it is. Again, area circulation has just crossed Quill Avenue. It is going to cross 290th Street, and it is going towards Platteville, if I said that right. Platteville, Iowa. If you live in Platteville, Iowa, lowest level, send them pointed to the house now. If this is on the ground, it is heading pretty much right towards your town, if not very close to it. And it's going to be close. Could very well be very close here. Yeah, it's gonna be about. Ooh, what I do? Oh, there we go. That was interesting. Mm. Oh, my mouth. Well, that's weird. Let's turn back here. Um, yeah, definitely zoom back in here. It's still radar indicated. There may have been a very brief touchdown. The couplet suddenly tightened. Just west of Quill Avenue. This is going to be southwest of Platteville. Let's go ahead and measure about the center here. It's about 3.5 to 4 miles. Well, now I'm going to have to remeasure. This is going to be about 2 to 3 or so miles southwest of Platteville, Iowa. And again, this is a rotating supercell. Does have a potentially developing tornado with it. Could not confirm it on the ground. Uh, However, it very well could have briefly touched down. With how tight that couplet was, it looked very, very close. Let's go back here, and it looks to be close again. Right now it is. What road is it? Can't really tell what road that is. Here's the tightest little area of circulation. This is just going to be south of 290th Street and east of Quill Avenue. And this is traveling northeast towards Platteville. Platteville, Iowa. Lowest level, centermost point of the house. Go now. Let's briefly check around as well. Other storms here across Kansas. Again, none of these should be tornadic unless they catch back up to whatever boundary that was. This tornado warning has been allowed to drop. Tornado warning still continues, however, up here in southeastern Nebraska, and eventually this will also cross into Iowa. Boom, that's why it's still continuing. It's definitely ramped up pretty much right over Shubert. Nebraska, let's go ahead and check storm if there's any storm chasers up here on this storm. And unfortunately, there are no storm chasers on that storm quite right now either. Yeah, again, it's kind of more of an embedded supercell because again, these are all starting to significantly interact with each other, turning more and more into a line. And as that happens, in the next couple of hours, they are going to weaken down quite a bit and produce more of a KLCS brief tornado threat. And ooh, it's right here. It's trying to work its way back up. It's definitely there. Definitely exists. Blockton, Platteville, Iowa. Get to your safe spot now. Again, lowest level, centermost point of the house. Um, Again, lowest level, centermost point of the house. That's gonna be an interior bathroom, interior closet, close to the middle of your home. If you're like a kid swapping around on YouTube and you just so happen to see this, and you live in Platteville or Blockton, Iowa, if you know your town name, and you don't have a basement or tornado shelter, get into a bathroom or a closet that an interior bathroom or closet that's gonna be a closet with clothing in it or bathroom, um, kind of in the center of your home, in the middle of your home. That's gonna be putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Uh, and here's your potential tornadoes. Can't confirm it on the ground as of now. However, it is going up and down. It is trying to tighten, and this is taking a turn right towards Platteville. Let's watch the laps here. trying. And circulation started out here, and it's close. It's close. It's going right over J55 and 290th Street. It's right there. It's going over. It could be very well be a developing tornado right now, just southwest of Platteville. Try to center it here. It is now less than 2 miles. There it is again. It is going right towards Platteville. It might be trying to recycle. It's trying to lift north, and there's the hook. Here's the inflow notch. This is winds feeding into the storm, moisture, unstable air feeding into the mesocyclone. Oh man, Blockton, you're probably receiving some 60 or so mile per hour winds of winds feeding into this thing. Hey, let's lapse this again here. It's very quick. To me, it looks like it's trying. It might go right through Platteville, Iowa. Platteville, last warning, get to your shelter spot, whatever it may be. Now this is only about a mile away from you now. It is definitely trying to turn. It is now north of 290th Street, and this is going to be against southwest of Platteville, Iowa. Nice, tight little couplet. And again, if you're like a kid flipping around on YouTube and you just so happen to come across this and you hear the sirens going off, an interior bathroom or closet is going to be a room kind of in the middle of your home. It's going to be a bathroom. It's going to be closet. Oh, there it is. Looks like it just barely. Looks like it may have just barely missed Platteville. Be it just barely. Looks like it took a lunge to the east. So watch the lapse again. Looks like it may have taken a lunge to the east. Platteville, you're not totally out of it now. Neither are you, Blockton, if you are in either of those towns and you just so happen to come across this live stream here. Don't leave your safe spot. You're not totally out of it yet. Inflow is looking mean for sure. That inflow notch is it's a whole bunch of moisture and unstable air feeding into that mesocyclone. Let's go ahead and go down south into Oklahoma for a brief moment. Couple of storms, couple like thunderstorms, not really anything severe at the moment. These are trying to go up. They're trying. And new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be wind driven. Let's go to velocity. It definitely have 60, 70 mile per hour winds there. Just east of Junction City, Kansas. This is going to go towards Topeka, or at least very close to Topeka, Kansas. 60, 70, 75 mile per hour wind gusts for sure in there. It's going to knock over your trash cans, maybe a shallow-rooted tree. Let's go back up here. Let's check this Missouri storm. Check this Missouri storm in a minute. Maybe. It's pushing it. Let's go back up here right now again. If there at least was a tornado was on the ground, west of Blockton and near Platteville, it would have been not only weak. It's probably getting choked out by colder rains now. Definitely got heavy rains in there, without a doubt. Maybe some hail. And this is going up trying to go towards Mount Ayr, Iowa. Again, blasting off to the northeast. Let's go ahead and check tornado warning. This is going to be left to expire. The only real tornado warnings are these two: northern Missouri, southern Iowa. Since 6:45, I've been about live for about an hour now, and we're starting to see a downtrend of tornadic activity and the severity of these storms. Starting to downtrend a bit here. However, again, these two tornado warnings are the only real ones in the state, and even then they're starting to go down pretty quickly here. Still got tight enough couplet. Let's go check debris. I don't really seeing anything in there. Yeah, I know there's a tornado right here. Stop screaming at me. Check the storm prediction center, see if they have anything new as of now. I think no. Do have a tornado watch. New tornado watch for western Missouri, eastern, and southeastern Kansas. It's technically for these storms, but there is something had undercut these storms. So unless new storms can go out ahead of it, this tornado watch is probably more than likely going to be a dud unless something can seriously take out or take off out ahead of that boundary. And yeah, it does appear like the cold fronts will undercut those storms. What's going? And that inflow notch is now pretty much gone. It's not as visible anymore. That means these storms are again they're merging, turning more into a little bit more of a line. Yeah, this tornado warning should be allowed to drop here pretty soon. And again, these storms have been undercut up down here in central and southern Kansas. These storms have been undercut by a cold front that is actually probably stretching out more out towards Kingman. Yeah, the cold front has pretty much undercut these storms, and even then, that strong tornado threat has seriously diminished quite a decent bit here in the like last hour or so now. That cold front is going to continue to surge off to the south as well. Let's go and check Oklahoma one more time, see if these are going up or down. I mean, they're kind of just bouncing up and down either way. This might be the next severe warned storm, but at the moment, I don't think these are going to do much. They're probably going to go up, produce quarter-size hail or so, and go down. New tornado warning. Right up on in here. I don't like that. That's tornado warning should be increased to the southeast, to the south. If I'm going to be honest. Be so honest. There's such in a weird spot that's like embedded inside of this storm, and like inside that storm. That is a very weird spot. Tornado warning up here. Oh, there is a now observed tornado warning. The weather spotters confirmed tornado at 6:40 p.m. A spotter reported a possible rain wrap tornado 7 miles southeast of Bedford. Or, wait, Bedford? Okay, yeah, Bedford. Let's go and go to SRV. I mean, it is certainly possible. It could have touched down at some point back here near Platteville or just southwest of Platteville. Definitely would not surprise me, considering that the couple it tightened real tight out of nowhere. Real suddenly, likely touchdown briefly. And it's definitely a very interesting thing to witness, to watch there. Let's go ahead and check something else here. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that tornado threat's not going to be as great now. There might be a new inflow notch trying to develop here. Maybe, maybe not. If there is a tornado, or at least was a tornado in here, it's definitely going to be weak. Another new tornado warning. This might actually be for... Nope. back for whatever this is. Again, there's a decently tight area of circulation. It's gonna be northwest of Berwick and east of Bern, Kansas. Or is this Nebraska? Okay, it is Kansas. And again, right now, a little area of circulation there. This is going towards. It's going to lapse this here. Wobbling east northeast. Falls City, Nebraska. I'd be getting into my safe spot now. West level, centermost point of the house. Looks like some rain showers are getting developed and pulled into this line. Uh, Again, if anything is in there, it looks embedded to me, and if it is kind of embedded in the back of the storm, which it looks like it is, you're not going to see that. That's more than likely going to be rain wrapped. Don't sit outside. Don't try to watch it. Interior bathroom, interior closet. Get there now. Could be mesocyclone trying to develop a tornado there. Yeah, down here in southwest Oklahoma, not looking like anything's going to develop really that much there. Let's go back over here to the Iowa storm. Might be something new trying to develop there. Ooh, maybe. Yeah, definitely might be something. Yeah, definitely trying to go up again there. Just west of Mount Ayer, Iowa. Gonna watch that pretty closely. Let's go ahead and run down here. The southeast Nebraska. Yeah, that almost. This kind of looks weird. There's like two areas of stronger rotation. That's very interesting, actually. But anyways, should be updating. Ow, my. How long have we been going for? Yeah, about an hour. That's what I thought. Tornado warnings do continue. These are mostly, again, KLCS. They suddenly spike up. They'll go back down. This storm is, like, just getting choked out by itself. That cold rain, the rain that it's producing is could very well produce a gust front if this continues. Looks like maybe a new info notch trying to make itself known. Dinner. Yeah, well, area circulation is in there. It's trying. Yeah, for sure trying. It's there. It does exist. And I'll be right back. I've returned. Sorry for my absence. My mother made some delicious food and wanted me to go down eat with her and the family, so I had to go do that. Another observed tornado warning. Interesting. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and check around, check some of these storms real quick. And definitely a few areas of circulation without doubt. Here's one south of Fall City. Now we're gonna bother circling that one near Rockport. I can't see anything. Let's go down to Oklahoma, check see what's going on down there. That's still that's our review. Whoopsies. Yeah, definitely have some of these storms. These can merge, like merge into one big cell. Now that could be an issue, but as of now, they're kind of just doing their own thing. And these storms won't be able to hardly do anything. They don't have outflow cut them off. How long have I been going for? I don't know. Or something. It's okay. Let's see here. Ooh. Okay. Uh, I need to check back in with this other stuff. Okay.